And the reason is obvious in that we would want to push in the same direction. We have an agenda to grow our exchange, to increase our collaboration with our colleagues in the region, and also to gain advantage from whatever is going on at this platform. So yes, we're looking in the same direction and trying to achieve the same things.
Obviously, a big focus right now would be to increase the number of listings, given the fact that you only have 21 listings at the moment. Some big names in terms of secondary listings, the likes of ShopRite, British American Tobacco. But what is the biggest challenge for you? Why is it becoming increasingly difficult to show companies that listing on the exchange, using the exchange to raise capital, is an attractive means?
That has been our niggling point, Samantha. Here is a stock exchange, and historically we know what stock exchanges are capable of doing. Companies routinely go to stock exchanges to raise capital for startup companies, to raise capital to allow more shareholders in, and so on. And we're wondering why it's not happening in our economy. And I think, understandably, the concept is new. The exchange is only 18 years old in Zambia, but I think that the manner in which it was started, in that it came about with a lot of government support, we are hoping that we can leverage on that to be able to show companies that actually being listed or using the capital market to raise capital is really the way to go. So we have a task of informing and educating our local market to show them the different ways in which the market can work for them. It's not just about listing equities, it's also about issuing debt capital as well.
So before we get into the bond side of the market, have you got any new listings in store for 2012? What type of target do you have firstly, and are we going to see new listings this year?
We were targeting about 3 for this year, but so far, unfortunately, none of them has come up yet. We believe that before the end of the year, we should get at least 1. I'm not at liberty to say which one, but as you know, the process of listing is a lengthy one. So we suspect that perhaps that could be the reason. But if we could achieve 3 listings per year, that would be fantastic. But like I said, we're only expecting 1 for 2012, but hopefully for 2013 we could have a few more.
In terms of getting government support and government behind extending the number of listings, what type of progress are you making on that front? Because we know initially a lot of parastatals listed on the exchange. That's what really started the exchange in Zambia.
The government support initially, like you have mentioned, came with the 10 initial listings that we had. But since 2008, when the last one was IPO'd, we haven't had any news of a second tranche, or we haven't had any knowledge of any companies that are lined up. So what we are hoping to do, perhaps, is maybe to deepen that relationship by enabling government to influence the parastatals, to use the market to raise debt capital, like I mentioned. So the capital is not just about equity, because equity is another ball game altogether. It means the total transformation of a company from government-owned, perhaps to private-owned. So that process, we know that has its slow points. But the government support that we received initially should continue, and on that basis, we are hoping that they could release a few more companies for listing.
So what is the progress with regards to the debt market then, and growing the debt market in Zambia and using the platform of the exchange as a method to grow?
Okay, on the debt side, I'm glad to say that we are moving in that structurally the market is being aligned to enable debt trading to take place in the way that it takes place in more developed markets. So that process is well and truly out of the station. If I can just come back on the equity side, Samantha, listings are complicated in that it's a very long process. It starts with the decision by shareholders, and in our case, for most of the companies, government is the major shareholder. So it takes the decision by government to say, this is what we're going to do. But the good news is that that policy has not been abandoned. It may be in abeyance right now, but it hasn't been abandoned, in that a lot of the companies need to move from the public sector into the private sector.
In terms of your trading system, so of course you're automated right now, your system can handle up to
Absolutely.
1 million trades a day. You're only handling between 400 and 500 a day. So how do you, as an exchange, start to benefit from the goodwill that investors are showing towards the Zambian economy? It's said to be the fastest growing economy in Africa in 2013. How do you make the exchange attractive to companies? What is the first thing that needs to be done?
Well, the first thing that needs to be done, of course, is the visibility. The exchange is there. Currently, we have users, so we do have a certain amount of visibility that we are enjoying. Like you have mentioned, we are automated. The regulatory environment is quite adequate. So all we are saying is that the exchange is there for the taking. For those that want to use it, the exchange is available for capital raising, for diversification and so on. So the upside is great, but again, it's a decision. It's a private decision that a company has to make, whether they're going to go the traditional capital raising route or they're going to come to the market. But you and I, Samantha, know that the capital market has huge potential for companies to raise significant amounts of money, both from local investors as well as the international market.
The last question I have for you is the Zambia Agricultural Commodities Exchange plans to resume trading soon. You've expressed an interest to take a stake in it. Are you going to bid for that?
Should I say that on national television?
We would love you to.
Well, diversification is on the agenda. And diversification, of course, includes acquisitions, mergers and acquisitions. And, yeah.
So, yes, you are going to be making a bid.
We'll leave it there.
I'm going to take that as a more probable than not.
Probable, yes, probable. That's a good word.